back in the ring assembly. We've secured our drive bearing with the 4 Allens on the back. We've secured our press, our shaft inside the press. So we're going to roll the, we'll go ahead and roll the shaft because we know our keyway was facing at the top when we took it off. So we'll go ahead and roll our screw back towards the top, or roll our keyway towards the top, and then we're going to go ahead and back off our nut and our spacer. So we've got our nut and spacer off, so we can simply put back the gearbox, and then we'll want to lube up grease up our shaft here for the gearbox. More is better, in my opinion. But so we've got that pretty well lubed up, and then we'll do the same to the gearbox itself here. And then we'll get the forklift back out, strap that up, and we'll slide it on. So we've got, again, we've got our grease, we've got our keyways pretty lined up. We can rock the gearbox to make the keyway from here. We'll slide it as we get it on, but again, we'll bring that forklift in, or whatever purchase point you have, slide it on there. With this much grease on here and it being pretty cleaned off, it'll slide right on, and then we'll bolt it back on. Again, before we make our final mate here with that, we're going to secure our 4 bolts on each side, our little Allens, to hold our base plate for the gearbox. And so as you can see, just a handful of steps left. We'll cinch these up, we'll slide our gearbox on and land our 4 stainless bolts mounting the gearbox up, and then we'll put in our spacer and our spring nut there, and we'll be in good shape. We've got our gearbox on. We've started our 4 bolts to mount the gearbox to the end plate here. You can see there's a little 1/8 inch gap right here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to raise up the forklift just a little bit, because inside here there's another lip, and this gap needs to go away. So we have to take the weight off the gearbox to align the gearbox with this pressure plate. So we'll lift that up right now. Again, we've just got these loose. We'll lift up this gearbox that 1/8 of an inch, and then it will seat back on, and we'll tighten up our 4 bolts. Gearbox to the mounting plate here. We've got that hard gap taken care of. All the bolts are tight. We're going to kind of reverse the step we did earlier. We're going to put our spacer in first. So we can see that we actually, we're going to do one more step. We'll be right back with you. Okay, so again, we've got our spacer. Not last step, but our crucial step here is put our snap ring in. So want to wear some glasses, protect your eyes in case that thing comes loose. So we've got that in. Make sure it's seated all the way around in the little sleeve there, so which it is. We've got that done, and then we're going to land our washer and then our bolt. So our last step here is we're just re-landing all the wires back to where they were based off your notes from before. Get the thermal protection, and then the ground, and then all your power leads. That'll finish this video up. Thanks for your time.